Okay, so you know what? I have decided to do this live on YouTube for a couple of reasons. One, it's going to be immediately there for you all to watch, okay, without needing to wait for me to download and upload and all of that. Also, just to shake up the vibe. The title says Psychotic is an Understatement. Thank you for watching here on YouTube Live or YouTube whenever you finally click on this video at Blooming Light.
That's what we're getting right now, Mom.
And we're going to talk about, if you guys are on a similar path as myself, there's going to be a message here about this incessant infiltration into your private life through the psychotics that have been trailing you your life, namely your family or those you thought were your family, those you grew up with, those that you thought were blood. We're going to talk about the ways they do that. We're going to talk about, well, some of these people, I can only say I see that a whole lot of people are about to get their asses fucked up. I know that we're in this full moon eclipse. The energy is intense. Karmics are showing their asses as typical. It's all about the illusion and cycles and secrets and all of these things. They're coming out. Some of these people are already getting their ass kicked and they're disappointed about the fact that they're getting their ass kicked. And so they're showing their asses to come fuck with you. And their strategy is to keep the collective in reactive abuse because they're trying to continue to manufacture a storyline that's fitting to get them off the hook or to make them look some kind of way. But here's the kicker. You can't look any kind of way when all of these people are slithery and sneaking and conniving and plotting and attacking you. It's the definition of mental illness. So what I find fascinating is that in different arenas, you'll hear people say, you know, communication is everything. You know, communication. I prefer to go straight to the horse's mouth. I don't have a problem with asking somebody something. I don't have a problem with saying what I need to say. I don't have a problem with communication. That's something that we hear classic in behavioral health. We hear in the spiritual, religious community. That communication is everything. If everyone could if everyone could communicate, right? Well, not when you're dealing with psychotics. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to put the world on notice with that. Okay, because the collective, you guys have healed and grown into a place. Maybe once upon a time, you know, because of your pain, your traumas and conditionings and all that. Once upon a time, you probably wouldn't have said, you know, it's like the timid. But when you've gone through enough, you get to the face. It's like I know how to keep my composure, but I also know how to say what I need to say. I know how to ask and see. And so this is where I'm going with the statement of the world is in a whole illusion. A big one. Because it's like, why don't you just go ask and work it out yourself? Bitches and niggas ain't fencing that psychotic. They not fencing to be telling you. I don't know what's wrong with humans. And listen to me, if indeed, in fact, you're dealing with somebody that's psychotic and sociopathic and they're plotting against you and they don't like you, you sitting down, confronting them or going to them and asking them and saying, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this so? Do you think that because you are able to effectively communicate and that you're doing it in a good way, presenting them clear and ample opportunity, you think that as a result, they're just going to go automatically, oh, yes, that is true. Because let's say it's true for the sake of what we're talking about. You think they're going to just go, oh, you know what? Yeah, I actually do. Why? No, they're going to play the role with sincerity, sound in their voice and on their faces. No, I don't even know that person, and You know, the only ones I know that are there, they're in another state, you know, but I did hear about so and so, and this happened, you know, here's your misdirection. But because a lot of, like I say, a lot of humans have a default setting. People are in fear. So it depends on what kind of arena you in, especially if this is business. More so if it's business. Of course, personal too, because people don't want to be known or found out. But if you're in a business arena, professional arena, and you're talking about something where basically you've been violated, because stalking is illegal. Giving people's personal information in those contexts, that's illegal. Okay? Abusing companies' resources in the name of a vendetta, sickle, mental illness, greed, entertainment to be able to watch somebody suffer that you're intimidated by, whatever, that's mental illness, and it's disgusting and it's illegal. What the world is not accepting is that that exists and it's covert. You're not going to have a Zoom meeting and you're not going to have people come together and come clean. Their jobs, their careers are at risk. Even if you sit there and try to convince them that this is a safe, open door policy and this is a safe place to, you know, we can figure this out. We can hash this out and work it out. But, you know, we need everybody to be fight, flight, or freeze, fear responses. Their survival is at stake when you talk about the professional arena. Okay? They know not only their survival, but their reputation. Okay? So they're not going to sit across and have to admit, yeah, I'm a little quacky. And, you know, I don't like this person, or because, you know, I'm actually secretly stalking them on social media amongst 10 other bitches in this company. And I don't like them, and I'm actually feeling some kind of way about it. But of course, I can't say that because, of course, I know better. So what we do is do everything in our power within the means of what we're doing here. And we abuse our position and resources to get to the person that way. And we're going to do it in a covert way, because if we do it obviously, nobody is stupid. Nobody's dumb. And it's all to get to you. And those that are in the dark arts in these arenas, they do this because, like I said, the collectives of folks have finally, on that path of narcissistic abuse recovery, you eventually, it takes a very long time, but you eventually do get to the place to do what the counselors and stuff are telling you to do, which is no contact, cut motherfuckers off. Because that's what they tell you. That's what they tell you to do if it's permissible for you to be able to do it. If you can. Okay? And once you do that, you know, many of us have, like I said, if you're anything like me, you basically put yourself in a witness protection program. Shit, fuck it. Right? Which puts you in position, because when you do that, it means that everything that you've used prior in order to just simply function in terms of like references and this and that, because you're trying to cut the ties. So this puts you at an imposition by default, because you got to start from scratch. Especially when you don't know how far and how deep and how wide or how long the betrayal and the vendettas has spread. Okay? So you do that, and you might get reclusive, you might get closed off, because you kind of start figuring out like, shit, nothing is what it seems here. And you rebuild your life, you have very strong boundaries, you're still learning lessons, and you know, anytime somebody do some shit to show you something, you get your lesson, boom, be like, bitch, that don't happen again. You know, and so and you transform and you keep on moving and just keep on moving. But these people, these so-called professionals, these so-called saved and delivered, these so-called spiritual, these so-called, you know, I am every woman, I am every man. All, you know, all of this are obsessed with you. That's the cold part about it. With all the money that they're shitting in their toilets, obsessed with you. Your essence. That's why you have to surveillance you, as I was saying. If this is about a business arena or a career arena and it's these virtual, you know, home office, call center arenas, they listen to you and then some people get fucking weak. Weird. Right? And what's funny is some people want to learn from you, but they don't want to honor you. They want to know what you know. They want to bite off of you. They want to embody you. They want to be you, but they don't want to honor you. They actually want to embody you and then be rid of you. So that's why they try to sabotage you. And this is why they stalk you. And this is why they nitpick you. And this is why they pay people. Here's their direct line. Call. Pretend to be a customer. I'll pay you to call and be a crazy ass customer. Low lives, bitch ass. Broke motherfuckers. I can say it. And I'm not saying it for no highfalutin, I'm better than kind of way. I'm saying it because these people be trying to act like they better than, but apparently they not, because they have to reduce themselves to bullshit to make some money, baby. That's why I'm saying that. I'll pay you $20 and $30 if you call. Because, again, they want this enjoyment. Because sometimes they'll have my speakers so that they can sit there and hear. Or so that they can sit there and do spells. They didn't think I knew that, but I do know that. So they want folks like you and me in reactive abuse, so they can continue to manufacture the storylines to the ignorant. They know that most are, including their own higher-ups. And so they get people to harass you and stalk you. They make these unnecessarily difficult, picky, and try to hide it behind this is the position and time, you know, within the scope of their jobs and all that kind of shit. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I know that too. This is mental illness. And to me, it's the saddest thing in the world that the masses of them don't even know that they're mentally ill and that their behavior is why they are. Not because they have emotion, not because, you know, we all have our days, obviously. If you've dealt with any crazy shit, you definitely. But no, the fact that, like I said earlier, any bitch and nigga that is sitting up here obsessed is so enamored to such a degree, something's wrong. Something's wrong with that being. Period. Period. So look, for example, you got social media. If you ask people, they'll play like they don't got social media. But they watch you every day, and maybe technically they don't because they look at you on Todd's phone. So technically, they do not have a social media. You see that? Hell, at least one that's in here now is the psychotic whore. At least one. I have to say that. I'm talking about my relative. Because there are many psychotic cores that are in my energy. But the main one that has been infiltrating, I have many. You do too, collective. Many. Because like I said, they clusters, they run on a mainframe. I swear I believe that. They run on some kind of mainframe with the and it's I swear I believe it. I believe it. And like attracts like. So they migrate. And this is what's been happening with me. That's why it will serve humans to, it'll put your nose, keep your nose on your face. And stop trying to be hall monitor. Just put your nose on your face because you're clueless as fuck. You have no idea. People don't want to believe, sometimes. This is why, if this is you, I think I reposted a young lady's video on TikTok. Keep those, all the stuff you've been doing in the background, keep all that. If you got to go, I would even look, if y'all going to go legal, go on to the behavioral health. Because when you're dealing with people that want to be covertly abusive and then deny and then be in cahoots with other people within an organization, you might have to go that route and keep records of all of your experiences and keep records of everything that you have discussed and reported and keep records of, everything that you kind of investigated on your own because you're not taking nothing at face value. So screenshotting and taking those numbers from those inbound calls. With the intention only, not to misuse it, not for personal use, but in the time where it's time to report and it's time for, the ones that need to do the real investigating to be able to look into things. Okay? I know, but do it because, because if this is to get you stressed, I'm sorry, I have to say it. If this is all just to keep you dysregulated and to keep you in fight, flight, or freeze and to keep being able to have access to your energy and to keep, being able to do their weirdy bitch shit and I done shook their ass too. But to keep being able to come in and out of your energy and your children's energy or to do shit while they know you're somewhere, that's illegal and it's sick. And every bitch and nigga involved with it, you're on my list. Every nick, bitch, and nigga that's in that, you need to know. You're mentally ill. You are. If you are working with a psychotic whore that has been trailing me around, you too are mentally ill. Yes, you are. Yes, the fuck you are. We are no one's property. Humans, listen, beings, adults. These humans, they ain't even, they gone. Humans, adults, and most of us are past the ripe old age of 30. Okay, most of us are. We're no one's property. So what does that mean? Nobody has the right, without our consent, to be infiltrating nothing about us unless we are directly dealing with them and it's the terms and conditions to do so to a certain degree. But beyond that, no one. And when you're dealing with these kinds of arenas, you gotta, I feel like this is infested with karmics. Yes, I do. Yes, bitch. Yes, I do. And when you have like someone like myself, you know, this has been this healing journey, and I have had to take losses and uproot and like trying to do all that and be a mama to a differently able young man that was heavily, you know, affected and attacked by these retards. Which is why a whole lot of motherfuckers might as well get ready to say goodnight. Say goodnight. That's another day and another video. So I'm sitting shaking my head. I'm like, this is that. I don't know what this is. Something wrong with them. What? You communicate so far for so long and then you stop. And I think that's what happened with most of the collective. Communication ain't shit when you're dealing with abuse, when you're dealing with narcissists and psychotics. And going to other people, people are dumb. Sorry if that's insulting, but that's how I feel. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. And not in a sense of academia. And I'm not saying these people don't have their forms of intelligence. When I'm saying dumb, I'm talking about this kind of stuff. They may know how to regurgitate words and shit because they went to school and they studied something. But honey, you gotta live some shit. And people take stuff as face value. So if somebody's in there smiling and talking in hushed tones and, you know what I'm saying, offering to bake cakes and shit, like, no, everybody don't see that. Offering favors to people. Are you going to think that person's narcissist? Is that the first thought? You see the shallowness, the limitations with that. They want to break your spirit. They want to break your resolve. They want it's sad for people to be so all that in it. But they got, you know, money and deals, and they may want to move you out of space so they can work there because they broke, bitch. Why? Because the motherfuckers cut them out their inheritance, bitch. Oof, that's another day too. But isn't that sad for people that's supposed to be so big, bad, and powerful, and capable, and able? It made you out to be the one who don't, you know, so why are you trolling bitches then, bitch? Why are you trolling? Why are you paying retards? Why are you doing all that if you so powerful? Why are you doing all of that if you're so on top of the world? Why are you doing all of that if you're happy and fulfilled? And what's sad is these people still do pretend this way before the ones who don't know what is going on. This is a sadistic, insidious thing that until enough people just start saying, hey, I'm gonna have to chalk it up, I'm gonna have to say something, I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do, because that needs to stop. It's not okay. All these so-called godly people, that's why I'm like, people can just dismiss me with they shit. They patriarch shit, they patriotism and shit, full of shit. Dismiss me with that. When someone tells you listen and then they don't want to believe it, it's almost like they think people are just saying something. And some companies may end up being liable for that. Because if they were presented with information and was told this, listen, is to be taken seriously. To such an extent that it should drive them to revamp and review their business. But most companies, like I said, dollars and cents on a ledger. And that's about all she wrote. They want the appearance of all this harmonious, this, but dollars and cents on the ledger. I believe that there's somebody that could have recently left a job in a similar arena that was pretty damn good. They were pretty damn good and pretty damn stable and happy, to a certain degree, until they switched teams. See, I look at patterns. I look at stuff in the background. I ask questions to myself. I think, I analyze, I look at, atmospheres and vibes and, all of it. Mm-hmm. Also, something else I've discovered is, when you deal in the career arena, sometimes people aren't as competent as they come off as, y'all. And I'm not trying to say this like we so better and we got, what I'm saying is, sometimes, listen, come on. We all got strengths and weaknesses, no doubt. None of us are good at everything, no doubt. Okay, we can all serve to learn and grow and train further and expand, absolutely. Okay. But sometimes it happens. It's not uncommon. We might be good at something, because let's say you could master something, but then you go to another level and there's a little bit more to that particular role. And so some people are uncomfortable with just admitting, and so what they'll do is kind of like try to, it's a weird way, it's still manipulation, but it's to try to like make it seem like something other than that, and then kind of moving something to be placed on those that are under them in a unique way, because the truth is maybe something is, and then if they get intimidated by any of their people that come in, do y'all see how this can become an issue? That person they gonna pick apart and try to get on their nerve, bitch. And I believe that it could have happened with what I'm thinking about, and drive them on. She ain't even there no more. Old girl. You know what I'm saying? She ain't even there. She gone. I'm like, what the fuck? And in some cases, if it's not about competence, and then they feel bothered by their subordinate and threatened, so they'll be sitting there listening to you to get ideas so that they can try to, I'm not stupid about that either. But in other cases, even if they are competent, they may be lazy. They may be a tyrant type. Because, you got people that they get on different vibes to give them a little bit of power. They be lazy. They don't want to do all that. But they got time to talk about, hopscotch and shit. They don't want to do all the other stuff, but, we can talk about drawing, bitch, and we can do that. And meanwhile, the shit to do with what you talking about, we ain't even talking about. And someone like y'all, collectives. And it just so happened, if you have a social media on top of being in that arena, do you see how all of the weirdo parasites can come out after you? And pretending to not be doing that? Because I bet you none of these people will even voice to you that they've actually seen you. And I know they have. So this is why someone wanted, oh, would they pee on screen, please? Why, Nevada? Are you working with a whore? My stalker, psychotic whore? Whore of a relative? Why, Nevada? Yep, I said it. Why? Especially, listen, you know, you start filling out vibes of places. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. And you'll see over there, like, ain't they even making that a big deal. So why was that a big deal? What was that about that day? You got to ask those questions. This is going to help you. This is why I'm sharing this. It's going to help you. When I say you get to the bottom of it, you do. If you all have been noticing, didn't I tell y'all a while back, if you notice, I may have said it on some other videos, if you notice that every time, let's say your work is let's say you're an entrepreneur. I'll go there for some of y'all. Like literally, let's say you have a business, you're an entrepreneur, and that every time you log on, okay, so just picture this because you're still logging onto an online environment, that every time you log on, for whatever that amount of time that you typically do it, if you're on there for a few hours and that's kind of your typical groove and pattern and it's something that you do systematically, and that every time that is, other stuff start happening weird, kind of like kind of offness. So if you have children, whether you notice like they get to getting activated all of a sudden, or okay, or as you continue on, you start feeling weird vibes coming into your energy, or you have certain phone calls and you chalk it up like, you know, oh, okay, well, shit, you know, life is just, at first we do that. If that's your business, whatever it is you're doing, you chalk it up because you're like, okay. But patterns. And then tracing back to who knows what, who knew what, and how. Then linking shit. And that's going to help you to know how you've been infiltrated in any kind of given way. And if you change your schedules around and certain things are still happening, what does it tell you? See, that's why I say when I say these people finna get their asses handed to them, that's exactly what I mean. Because, you know, it's looking a little weird. Because if you was on, you know, doing your work at 6 a.m. and that was your pattern for however long, and shit was happening okay, and then all of a sudden, boom, you somewhere else. You ain't doing that no more. You on another day off, different, boom, bitch, all this, you changed it. And if the same stuff is happening, that's because it's in the inside. That's because it's in the inside. It's right there. And there's a snake, several. Whether that is, see, it could be anybody. It could be just a coworker. And chances are, even if it's a leader, I bet you they'll throw how much y'all want to bet me? Even if it is an actual leader that is the snake, how much y'all want to bet me that they're going to throw under the bus, they're going to find some other random person that's equal to you or whatever and throw them under the bus before acknowledging that they're the snake? I'm calling judgment on every last one of them, and I'm also going to call judgment on a company. And I recommend y'all do this too. People who are, I said, this is the infiltration of your private life. Nobody has no rights and no business. That's the problem with humanity. The entitlement. Sit your ass. Huh? Nobody has a right to that. and infiltrating your private world. What you do as an adult with your time is really nobody's business. And infiltrating that in the name of just to get to you and annoy you and get in your energy and try to make problems for you or pocket watch you or try to steal it, whatever that is, to get people in your life, because that's what this is about, worming their snaky ass around your life to convince people to do their spells on people and to convince people to see you in a certain light. Call judgment on that behavior and evoke judgment. I've determined whether it's TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is that I do with my life, people infiltrating my private life to, in order to get to me, I'm cursing them. And I'm not just saying I know I am. And some of the times it's going to be, I'm cursing them with their own curses. Because if they're coming in and, saying shit and chatting shit and doing, all whatever, okay, very well. So I'm going to require that, but times a gazillion. And then I'm going to take it to another level, actually, because again, this incessant, I can't leave you alone, is a mental illness that needs to be seen for what it is and addressed. I don't care if they come in your office with a briefcase and saying, let's pray. I don't care. And see, humans has got to get past that. Humans are so fragile with this kind of stuff. Oh, let's pray. I am so Miss Black America, and I am so, I am an advocate for the poor and the disabled, and, I'm just so, and, but listen, I really need you to, she's not okay, and, I'm just concerned with her, so could you put, what's the number so I can, some people falling for that, which I don't see how, if you got half a brain, how you falling for that shit. People intimidated by you, they want you uncomfortable. And if you've so far removed your life, then they're not able to do it the same way. If you're refusing to pay attention, because listen, this is what the stalking is about, right? We, as the collective, we are refusing to pay them attention. Just think about that. What is stalking about? You're refusing to what? Pay them attention. You're refusing to what? Care. You're refusing to what? Interact. You're refusing to what? You having the audacity to be able to separate yourself and move on bothers them. These people done already been stole from me and my son. These people done already been trying to unalive me and my son in more ways than one. And everywhere me and my son has migrated through into, they have always continued to work with these retards to attempt to be a problem and to unalive and to stress out and to keep us in a state of trauma so that they can keep our vibration low enough so that we can end up being sick and they can do their spells and their spells can work, or, so that we would look a certain way so that I wouldn't be able to take care of him and so that they can get power of attorney. And so this has been an elaborate psychotic, sick, nigga, bitch, group, family, organization shit. that I am going to bring down. And with that being said, collective, some of you, many people owe you more than an apology. Apology is not even sufficient. It wouldn't even be, yeah. And you know it. You know you got hundreds of people that owe you apologies. Right? But what I've learned, listen, you know why all of these stalkers and these psychotics and these people that have betrayed you and got the nerve to feel brokenhearted, have betrayed you and done you dirty time and time and time and time again, and then they start to eventually suffer for that, and they start to get exposed for some of that. They can't, you know why people can't bring themselves to apologize to you all, collective? Because for folks like that, it's hard to do that because they felt like they were better than you. They felt like they were above you. And what I'm learning about people who have that kind of attitude or mentality or belief system, that when they think they're better than, superior to someone, it's hard to eat crow. It's hard to humble and swallow. Like, no, I was wrong. I betrayed you. There is no other way to flip the coin. This is what it is. This was wrong. This was sick. This was self-serving. I was jealous. I was envious. I was petty. I was all of those things. I was mentally ill. Because to face off with that is to force them to face the fact that they're not better than you. And that's why they can't apologize. That's why they can't say it out loud. That's why most of these people just run off into the corners and just be sorry or cry in a corner and try to, because to face you would have to stand toe to toe and eye to eye with you, facing the fact you're not better than and you never were. You're not superior. It would own the fact that they themselves were in a lesser state of consciousness or a lesser state of being would put you in the supreme position, but not from an ego and arrogant type space. It's just the fact that you are in those situations. I highly recommend Soul Collective. Listen, it's going to be, when you get a chance, as like myself, redo everything in terms of, I'm not saying, I'm talking about the stuff like, because these are the people who have been hacking your accounts. It's been a whole lot of shit. Hacking your accounts, hacking your devices, charging your cards. I'm going to curse whole towns. All people that me and my son that came in contact with. Swear to God. Swear to me. Swear to the ancestors. Swear. Yes, I am. And I'm going to put a disclaimer in what I do, that this is not to be for those who've done no harm to my son and me. Because I don't have, and not just off 1010, I don't have any intention. That is not my vibe. Okay? There's a few kind people I've encountered that maintained it. They wasn't just love bomb kind for the beginning. Like, there's a few folks that there's few, and I won't divulge who they are either. There's a few of them. I won't tell. It's like, no, because they're the few ones that have held their kindness, unlike the other ones. So, for the few, okay, that's what I'm doing. Ain't touching them. But for everybody else, it is. Again, infiltrating my life. In your life, collective, we have not looked to cause problems for anybody. We don't bother people. And that's why I've made my final ruling. Okay? We don't look to cause problems for folks. Hell, the chances are we try to stay out the way most of the time because people are so goddamn fragile and triggered all of the damn time. You can't even be decently cute without them having a conniption and needing to scrape you and rip you apart and flip you up and down because they're fucking insecure. You all don't look for problems. Y'all don't bother people. That's why I'm putting the judgment, and you should too. And doing what you're going to do in terms of justice. Absolutely. If whole towns that became obsessed, whole towns need to go down. That's how I feel. I am not their property. Who I am, what I do, neither is my son. You raggedy bitches coming in, you better stay out of my son's energy. Or you're going to get some more bad news. As well as you niggas too. For you weird niggas in my son's energy, you're going to get some more bad news. I said what I said. Now, you have a right to do that too, collective. That's defense. So go legal, go spiritual, go all around. Because that infiltration is wrong. This is wrong and it's unjust. People getting off and watching you or your children suffer and struggle, they should be put in mental institutions and put into straitjackets. Instead, these people are giving these motherfuckers leadership positions. These people should be put in institutions and straitjackets. And their brains should be cut open and studied. And these are the Christians and the spiritualists that get their rocks and jollies off of watching people suffer that they don't like. Here soon, I may come on this platform or another platform and call out names. Because there was a young lady that shared a video. She said, you know, it's not illegal to call out names of people that's doing shit to you. What they're doing to you, that's not illegal. And so I'm going to start calling out names. And I'm going to start naming businesses and people's names and all of that. See, they desire to make, for you too, collective, to make you mental anguish and distress and unrest and uncomfortable, because that's what this is about. They want you to give up on yourself, to give up on life, to give up on opportunities because they keep infiltrating you and following you around. So then by way of the fact that they continue to do all of it, then that gives us rights and jurisdiction to call them all out. And some of them think that we won't, but they have no idea. And it's not illegal to do so. So let it be known, I, as well as the collective, those of us, we have jobs in arenas, call centers, virtual offices, businesses. We are still being stalked by our psychotic, doppelganger, narcissistic, sociopathic relatives and their cults and covens. They are infiltrating corruption everywhere we go. So they infiltrate government programs like housing authorities. They infiltrate property management, landlords and owners, which is all illegal, but they do that. That is what they've been doing. So these people are participants. Then they infiltrate those that we become friends with or those that we start to date to get intel, to get information. That's what they've been doing. So they are still utilizing those same antics, their corrupt connections in all of these places to tell them stuff in order to do spells, in order to send things to us, in order to try to make problems. They are still doing it because they're losers and they're losing and they're getting karma, but they're still doing it. But now it's spreading like gangrene because other people in these arenas, these managers, these owners of property, these neighbors and all these people, some of them are getting their asses chewed up, and rightly so. Some of our exes, and rightly so. You do not come together with no distorted motherfuckers to do some weird shit because you weird. Be the first one crying if somebody did something to you and your children. So all of you need to go sit down and get a head check.